All right, Patrick, where shall we start on what was a very busy evening in Minnesota sports?
I want to say one thing, and you guys have a variety of experiences. Declan, a little younger, you've had a long experience. Did you ever think you would see Byron Buxton make that play again in your entire life? When 2 years ago, when they wouldn't let him out on the field because they thought that he was not ever going to, he had to. The only way to save his career was to have him be a terrible DH. Was their theory not? Where did this come from? That was 23-year-old Byron Buxton running in the gap. And the amazing thing is where the ball was when he caught it.
Yeah.
It was basically a dive. It was one of the five best plays he's made in his life. I can't believe that I saw that.
We have we're on a group chat thread, Pat, with our buddy Trevor Plouffe, and
Mhm.
let's just say
Yeah.
the Twins' outfield defense has also come a long way. I tongue in cheek poked back at Plouffe and I said, Plouffe, I don't think Danny Santana makes that grab in 2014.
No, no, I don't think so. I don't know. It was one of the best plays ever, and you know what it did? It invited a bad loss. That would have been a bad loss
Oh,
Oh
oh,
boy.
I mean,
to that team.
and
That
and
team,
Duran's been excellent this season up
yes,
until then.
yeah. And they went when you go out and play bat the ball around like they did last night and get 5 hits. That's about the
Oh my
maximum for
God.
these clowns
Oh my
anyway.
God.
So anyway,
Here's the
that's
thing, Pat.
certainly not the big story of the evening, but
Yeah,
it was great.
here's my thought though on Buxton. Appreciate this while we can
Oh
because the
hell
gloves are
yes,
off now. He's playing all the time. He's
yes,
stealing bases, which he's
yes.
phenomenal at. Now, do not take this for granted though, because on a mid-May day it could end suddenly. But my God, as a sports fan and a baseball fan, I think I have a greater appreciation because you're right. I thought we would never see this
Never.
again, and we're getting now
Well,
this second chance. But just appreciate it because there's no guarantee it's going to last for an entire season.
oh, remember Rocco getting the red ass when people kept saying, he's not very good at the DH. Why don't you put him in the out? Hey, we can't. He's not healthy enough. He'll never play in the outfield again. Stop asking that question.
Or steal bases, Pat. He's
Yes, yes,
he's running now.
yeah. And supposedly they took a little piece of flesh off the knee or something. I don't know what happened here, but it's it is incredible that. And I got another thought on the Twins, who nobody's been more down on in them than me from March 1st, not
You were
not
right.
not
Yep.
starting now. I think this. I think Kitchell can play baseball. I don't know if he can field, but he knows how to steal a base. He just takes
Yeah.
off, and he looks like he's got a idea of how to play the game, and he's got some talent, that's for sure. So he's here to stay. I don't know as what, but he's here to stay. He can hit, and that stolen base was, the
He had
fellas
two.
on TV are discussing. I wonder if he'll run here, and he's at second base before they finish the
Yeah.
sentence. So. Anyway, there's two good things happened last night, which is
Yeah, it sounds like second base is probably his long. He can play some outfield, but with that Tommy John situation, they're not going to put him in the outfield anytime soon. And
yeah,
but even Rocco, we kind of asked him yesterday, after the scrum, like, okay, where do you think he does Keyshaw fit? And Rocco literally said, I can get all the scouting reports. I have not seen enough evidence to know exactly where he can play every day as a big leaguer,
yeah.
field
Well,
wise.
you can alternate he and Julian at second and have a bad second baseman either way. What difference does it
Right.
make?
Yeah.
So, the other, it would be nice if one of them could play third because I don't think Brooks Lee can hit, but you're going to get Royce back apparently and find
He's
out if
sprinting.
he can
He's
play or not.
sprinting, Patrick.
He's sprinting. Yeah. Okay. I'm holding my breath. Anyway, what a great play by Buxton to end that game. It was fantastic to say the least. And I think he was actually surprised he caught it. Don't you?
He was pumped. I mean, he was
Yeah, he
he
was
was
he was
excited.
fired up, and those 4,200 people, they got really excited too, right? So,
Declan tweeted out that unfair picture of the empty stadium.
wow, unreal, unreal. Anyway, meanwhile,
Yes.
at the in
Transition.
the big news, all of our assumptions that we made the other night were now, put in reverse. The I did say the Timberwolves will never shoot like this again because the Lakers will actually guard them this time, and they did, and they turned it into a mug fest and
Yep.
beat the hell out of each other. And now will they allow that game to be played the same way again, or will the Lakers want to play that way again? I don't know if they will or not, but it was a it was a grinding, awful, terrible basketball game, and that's obviously the way the Lakers decided to play it after their pathetic performance in Game One.
Circa 2000-ish, 90s basketball. Like
Yeah, it
it felt
was.
like that, rough
It
and
was
tumble.
bad, but it was almost Bad Boys. It was almost Detroit. It was almost mug the hell out of everybody. And I suppose that one thing Reddick's looking at the tape or the video or whatever it is and saying, "Hey, listen, guys, they're letting us beat the hell out of each other. They're
Yep.
not calling anything, and if they do, they're calling it against them. So, let's just go out there and see what we can get away with." And it turned into a mug fest, and I'm sure Anthony wasn't in a good mood because they stole another $50,000 away from him without for no reason
Did you
again.
see the clip though from
Yeah,
that?
yeah, but the guy's a jackass.
I
Why can't
know.
you yell at some jackass from the stands? If they did that last year at Target Center, Luca would have got fined $1 million. He
Yes.
was screaming at everybody, telling them what a bunch of dumbasses they were.
But Ant at the end of the exchange, grabbing his crotch and saying, "Mine is."
Yeah.
It was worth the fine. It was hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, but they hate, they might say he's one of the faces of the league and everywhere, but they hate him. They're stealing money from him every chance they get. He should file a lawsuit. He should, a class action lawsuit that you can't just take my money away without a hearing, for goodness sakes. So
Yeah.
I guess what if the fine's only 50, then they can't appeal or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know, but he's at what for
He's
the
over.
season
It's
350?
almost $400,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
this year.
So
I mean, that's money. I don't care how much he's making. That's money. You know, they should not be allowed to do that. They should not be allowed to do that. Now, if you punch some fan, okay, I can say that. But if you call some jackass fan a jackass, what's wrong with that? You know, I don't get it. And as I said, Luca last year, everybody down there in the front row can tell you what he was saying to them. So
yes. No, you're
unbelievable. He
right.
did play good last night, though. He actually tried to guard somebody, and he, muscled and got some rebounds, and he played good. And LeBron got away with murder, and it was an ugly fest. But I don't, as bad as the Timberwolves played, they only lost by 9. I think it's still a 50-50 series.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
the the Lakers came out and stormed them, looked great.
Yes.
But the Wolves actually, the Wolves very easily at halftime could have said, "We got the split. Who cares?" And they
Yes.
didn't. So I
And
think that's a good sign.
the other thing was actually, what are they, 7 down, and Edwards gets his pocket picked by LeBron, gets that ball. If they score a basket there, they got a
Yeah.
20% chance of pulling it out at the end. That was and Edwards did not have a good night. So, but there's nothing to be pessimistic about, I don't think so. And the good thing now is none of these teams never play on the same night again, right? The Wild and
Correct.
the
The
Wolves,
rest of this,
at least in the first round of this series. So our guys come out last night in the hockey game, get some goals, and just hang on for dear life. How many shots they end up with? Six. They had 18, 19, something like that.
yeah, I think they had 3 goals on 10 shots at one point. But after Kaprizov scored the goal early in the second period, or
Yeah.
they scored the goal to
Oh.
go up 4-0.
Mm.
They basically just went away, and Vegas dominated, and the Gus bus was
Yes.
outstanding.
But I will say that the Kaprizov is a man alive. He's he's a goal scorer, but his his setups have been more phenomenal than his goal scoring right now. Man, he's made some passes.
Did
Incredible.
you see the pass to Boldy for the first goal?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's
Unbelievable.
how do you make that pass? He saucered
I
it
don't
up
know.
in the air, and Boldy said post game that is the best pass I've ever seen.
Boldy, we talk about Ack being a star and Kaprizov obviously a superstar, but he's had what 15 game period where he kind of goes away, but he's had
Yeah.
a hell of a year or two. He's a hell of a player. He can score goals. And when he came into the league, I wasn't that big a fan because I saw what a sissified game he played against Man. It wasn't against Mankato in the national tournament. He was invisible with Boston. He wanted no part of those guys. Was it that game in the tournament, the NCAA
Yeah, I
tournament?
think you're right. Yeah, I think it was
He looked
Mankato.
like he was saving his body for the NFL NHL season, but he's a hell of a player. He's really good.
When he shows up, he's phenomenal.
Hmm.
Which is what drives me crazy about when he doesn't show up.
How many minutes do we get out of Zeeb?
Zeev and Bogosian, I don't think played a
Didn't
ton,
play
and they,
quite as
yeah,
much.
I hate that though. Put Bogosian with Middleton and Zeev with Spurgeon. Bogosian's not good enough to help Zeev.
Okay, yeah, that's right. He's there. Yeah, he can't take advantage of the kid's mobility, right? So
Well, yeah, and
that's
he just doesn't like he is not he's a veteran, but like Spurgeon is positionally so sound, he's not going to screw up.
hmm
Bogosian screws up.
yeah.
So
Well, Bogosian is there. They got how much he's better than Merrill, but that's all,
yeah,
right? I
and he's a
mean,
right-handed shot, and Merrill's a left shot, and Zeev is a left shot. So that's also why he's playing. Bogosian's
but
playing.
hey, it's hockey. You can reach a lot of verdicts after one game, and after two games, you know, there's no verdicts to be reached in hockey. That's the I guess here's what I was thinking though last night as I settled down after a very wired up evening of athletics. If baseball wants to see what a mess they are in and wants to create uh, at least a compatible playing field, look at the NHL. The best team in the league at this moment appears to be in the smallest arena in the smallest city. How did Winnipeg? How's that happen? How's that happen? It's a town of what? 600,000 people or something. It's got a
Yeah.
terrible downtown. It's got a terrible arena. It's got an old arena they want to get done. How they do this? How can this be the best? What
Well,
genius do they have up there to create this team? That's what I
salary
want to
cap
know.
is the start of it.
Yeah, that is obviously that's part of it, but they also got some guy who knows it. But the other thing is, you get NHLers. How many of them play out there? How many, if you want to keep them, how many leave anywhere? If you want to keep them, how many leave because they don't like the market or something? Not too many, right?
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's some, but not a ton.
I mean, like
Yeah,
Kaprizov's not leaving here. He's going to break the bank, but he's not leaving
right,
here. He'll be here. So
right.
anyway,
Hopefully,
it is incredible to think that. Wow, I wish we were as good as the Winnipeg Jets. It's like,
or the
you know,
Capitals a year ago, I believe,
yeah,
missed the playoffs, and they were the second best team in the entire league and the best team in the entire Eastern Conference.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the thing is the fluctuations of teams in that
Yes.
sport can be enormous,
Well, two
which is
years
what football
ago,
has.
2 years ago, Boston was the best team of all
Yes.
time. Screwed up in the playoffs, and now they don't make the playoffs 2 years later.
That's actually where if you think about it, Pat, hockey and football are similar because you always get
Yes.
these fluctuations of you when the season starts in both sports, what you think about the entire league can be flipped on its head in months.
Yes. Yes, that's true. And you know, of course, I was also thinking about this last night. the NFL, we give the Zigmeister credit for being a good owner, man. He's an aggressive owner. They do not have to pay. Look at the difference between them and baseball beyond popularity. They do not have to pay for their player development. They get free player development. Hockey's got to pay to some extent to their
Right.
own player
Right.
development. Baseball has to develop their own players. The NFL, these guys want us to put $280 million in improvements in their arena downtown or their dome downtown. They don't pay for their player development. They are the thieves of sports. It's incredible. And they're never more popular. Although, is it just because we got everything else going on here that we're not quite as pumped up for the draft as normal?
They're drafting 24th too, and they might trade
Yeah.
down.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the thing too is last year you went into the draft with 2 first-round picks, and
Yes.
you were almost certain that the first one was going to be a quarterback. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd say 2024 draft-wise for the Vikings was the perfect storm.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they'll still have better TV ratings than anything else on Thursday night. But I don't know. You know, for old time's sake, Judd should have went over to Green Bay and covered that draft with you and 700,000 of your Wisconsin friends standing in the street drunk. It'll be fantastic.
I'm curious how this comes off because, like the past ones, I saw the attendance estimation because when it was in Detroit a year ago or Nashville, it was a huge crowd. The attendance is going to be less just by they don't have enough hotels. They don't have. So I'm curious. I'm curious if the league is going to say that was really fun once, but we ain't ever going back to a small city again for this.
Are they? So where are they going to build their stage? Out in the parking lot?
Parking lot of Lambeau. It's built.
All right, and then you stand way now. How far back is that neighborhood that used to be just across the lot? Did they get rid of all those houses?
A lot of
over
those
there?
houses are gone. Yeah,
Oh, really?
I think they bought a bunch of them. Like the Packers, like the Cubs, bought up a ton of land to build their own things. They bought that Kmart that was there for years and years.
Okay, yes.
That cheap hotel that was by the Kmart, that's gone. And they tried to buy up as much land as they possibly could from those homes, if nothing else, for parking.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to say it's been a while since I've been there, but the last time I was there, Rogers was making his first start against Tarveris Jackson. And I parked back in one of those neighborhoods for $50 or something. And there was 50,000 jerseys there. 49,000 of them were Favre. 2 of them were Rogers. It was unbelievable that day. They were not ready to make the transition to Aaron. That's for sure.
I was with you at that game.
Yes, yeah, it was, and they ended up pulling it out. Right, both teams played badly though, as I recall. Rogers was okay, and Tarveris was terrible. So,
Yep.
Anyway. But what a week for sports! Wow, unbelievable. So
this is the first time since was it 2000 and what was it when both teams were in the playoffs last 2008?
22. No.
22? Yeah.
Yeah, the Wild and
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
the Wild
fun.
have been gone out in the first round so often though that
Right.
but they haven't got another first round since 15, right?
Right.
Correct.
2015.
That's right. The last time that they both advanced, that's what I was thinking of was the year that the Wild went to the Western Conference Finals, something like that. But yeah,
Okay.
it's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, it was a good a lesson in hockey that, oh man, you know what? I predicted Wild after watching the first half of the period because they got a big bunch of lumbering guys. Skating is not their strength. Muscle is Las Vegas' strength. That's
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Where's this Hurdle from? Is he a Czech or something?
Yeah, I think so.
He's
Yeah,
a
yeah. He came from the
mon-
Sharks. He played.
He's
He's
a
a really good player.
You'd like to hit him with a stick, wouldn't you? The way
He's
he
strong though, man.
muscles around, man.
I
Yeah,
love
he
Hurdle.
muscles around.
He is very strong. So what are you going to the X on Saturday?
No, I'm not. Well, I think we got 2 or 3 other guys. I think I'm going to go to the ball yard on Saturday. So I was going to go. When I was going to go. When they home Thursday. Thursday home.
Yep.
Well,
Thursday,
I think
Thursday, Saturday.
I think I'm going Thursday. So,
Okay. See, I
all
can't go.
Oh, that's
Draft
right. The
party.
draft. The
I'll
draft
still be
party.
there. I'll still go, and then I'll still make
Okay.
the draft party. But yeah,
Draft party.
Where's
I'm too busy.
Where's our draft party?
Fillmore.
Oh,
Again.
really? Way to
Yep.
go.
Just
Okay.
steps away. Yep.
And you did
You're two
good
at the
last
Fillmore,
year.
Pat.
You did pretty good crowd there last year, right?
Yeah. Sold out
yeah.
the place.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, we're popular.
Are we sold out again?
We're nearing it. We're nearing it.
I think the reason the Purple Daily's so great is you vary your commentaries. That you don't stick to the same topics.
Never talk about quarterbacks.
No, never do.
That's what we learned. Never talk about the quarterbacks.
Talk about quarterbacks.
Talk about punters and kickers. That's about it.
Should,
Long snappers as well.
You didn't beat the Rogers. Is Rogers coming to town angle too hard though? Did you? As hard as some other.
Barely
people?
talked about it.
Okay. All right.
Barely touched on it. Just about
Alrighty.
3 or 4 shows consecutively. All right,
Great,
Pat. Well,
great night in Minnesota sports, even though the basketball team couldn't make a shot. So,
amen. All right, Patrick.
see you
Talk to
again.
you later.
Bye.
All right. Reusse Unchained on Score North.